waking up, running my bike into town. Good morning, you know, riding in. Running a green light on my bicycle and having a semi. Smoking a cigarette, talking on a cell phone, drinking a cup of coffee, run a red and fucking smash me, and I'm bits.
I dreamt that I was flying over the ocean, and in the ocean were tons and tons of bodies, and their eyes were open, and as I was flying over them, their eyes were following me.
One time I had a seizure, and I felt like I was underwater. I felt like I was drowning, and I felt like the surface of the water was right here, and I couldn't get my head above water. And so the whole time I was coming out, I was coming out of a seizure, and I seriously for like 20 minutes felt as though I was drowning. I was dying, and I couldn't get above water.
The only thing I can think about at this point in time is when I was a kid, taking a nap, I put my hands behind my back, and I got this overwhelming sensation of that. Not only I was really tiny in the world, but that I was like scraping a battleship. I don't know where that came from, but as a kid I thought, this is immense. This is like going nowhere. And I was about 11 or so, and it was just unbelievable. It gave me such a feeling of dread and smallness that I would snap out of the nap, and I would just feel like, oh, weird. It would give me a weird tingling feeling in my brain. Actually in my brain, like something weird, like this pressure was on my head, inside my brain, and it hasn't happened in 20 years.
And that is by far the scariest time the most horrific nightmare I've ever had in my life. It is the closest thing I've had to a near-death experience.
This morning, I sat up and clapped 6 times like this, and then I said something, and that was it. I don't know what happened, but
it was enough to set me on edge all my life. Yeah.
My worst nightmare was when my older sister turned into 2 different people. She was a twin all of a sudden. She had a twin. And one was really, really mean, and one was really, really nice, but I couldn't tell which was mean and which was nice. So I ran from both of them. And I was running through my house and around, and I ran out the backyard. My other sister met me out in the yard so we could get away from my evil twin sister.
My worst nightmare was probably about 5 years ago, and I'm a sleepwalker, so I interact in my sleep. Sometimes I lash out, and I was sleeping next to this window, and I was dreaming that somebody was looking in on the window, and they had a camera, and they were recording my thoughts and everything that I was doing, and I smashed my window out, actually. I broke my window in my sleep.
In this building, it was on fire all around me, and everyone was running to the exits, and I was trying to escape, but I tripped. And I couldn't move, and like all of my limbs like totally felt like lead, and I was just like crawling, and like little by little, and I could like see the flames like in my peripheral vision, like just coming to engulf me, and the exit was just like right there, but I couldn't move, and like I totally like woke up, cold sweat, just like freaked out, thought I was on fire. Bad stuff, man. Bad stuff.
Was when I woke up in the hospital, and I thought it was a nightmare. I had this horrible dream, and I thought I lost my leg, and it was true.
I often go home with a fear. I often get home, and I'm lying in bed, and I think, did I forget my guitar on the bus? I get scared and I get up out of bed, and I look over at the foot of my bed, and there's my guitar sitting there on the floor. I make sure I keep my address on my guitar case, so if I leave it in some strange place, someone can call me up and say, hey dude, we found your guitar. We played it a little bit, but we'll give it back to you, so you should come over with your car and pick it